Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Will Cheese Fail sent in by you, the fans, to Lifesaglitchtv at gmail.com. Mr. Max is like,
Yup.
hit me up with the sound of Twitch suddenly partnering with Roblox.
Oof. 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 Oof.
Yeah, that is a large load size of oof. For sure.
Yep.
Top left. Who's gonna match Dan Clancy's freak? It's L Freak. The top left, red Zerg. Bottom right, Darmello the blue Zerg.
Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah. I don't even really want to get into it. This probably
we don't have to.
Yeah. No, that's just
No, we don't have to. That did all the talking for itself. You don't need no more than that. All you need to do is check out the top banner on Twitch right now, and you'll know everything you need to know. You're good to go.
Oh,
you're fucking ready to rock. Okay, so L Freak was super quick on that pool. Darmello looking a little bit more standard. Reno down here. He's gonna go for his little expansion. I don't know, did he get, he did get a drone up there, so theoretically he sees how fast that pool was.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's a fast pool. He is getting fast gas as well, so, and this is a Will Cheese, so I'm just going to make the assumption his first 100 gas, he's going to go for metabolic. Maybe he keeps it going and gets a Baneling's Nest. Maybe this is just a Ling Bane all in. I'm not sure what else he can really do. His opponent, though, still just getting his expansion. I like this. You know, if he can get out a queen, get out a few Zerglings, should be able to defend. There's the metabolic boost going now. His queen's about to pop. Gonna go ahead and get that more larva, the inject going as well. So, I mean, it's still, this is like still fairly standard opening, like even in ZVZ. It's just a matter of, can Darmello hold the first push? Needs to get this out. Almost needs to bring the queen down. Oh, he's getting a Roach Warren, so he's preparing. He's gonna go for a fast Roach Warren. He's gonna get her a couple of roaches and try and hold down the fort. He knows it's coming. I mean, the Overlord sees everything. And I think he's taking these two Lings to try and buy time by doing exactly what he's doing right now and just take them on a wild goose chase. I would have continued to go up north to buy more time for this Roach Warren to finish and get these roaches out. So no, he's gonna run back in here. He's gonna lose a Zergling in the mix. Nope. And this is just gonna be a micro battle, really.
Well, we'll see. Well, I don't even think there's much to micro right now. Is just decided, Freaks decided to run out of there. Metabolic is kicked in. He's grouped up. He's got another batch. Now he's gonna go in.
Oh yeah.
And that's a lot of speedlings, Mr. Black.
Yep. Oh, he's going right into the main. He's saying,
he's
screw
just said
killing that
YOLO.
stuff. I'm going in the line. This is risky because you can also just pull the drones. I would have liked to have seen him get rid of those roaches when they only had a couple of them clumped and then continuously stream down units. Now he's bought enough time for more roaches to come out, and suddenly this attack doesn't do a whole lot of damage. I think going for the mineral line was a mistake right there. Should have surrounded those units, got that kill, and then reinforced and brought more down, and then put down an expansion. But now, clearly behind. We're looking at this supply now, 16 drones to 19, but it's 22 to 33 in supply, and we already have a Spire going down for Elfreak.
Yeah.
Like,
that's quick. I mean, he sees the roaches, right? So, like, his first instinct is I think the right one. It's just get to that Spire as fast as possible. He got rid of a queen, and then he ended up getting, I think, 2 roaches that had just popped at the natural.
Yep.
Or not the natural, the main. You know, that... I agree. I think he probably could have been just as good to get rid of the units out front, and maybe he could have done a little bit more damage, but at least he got the queen. If he had not got the queen, that would have been a catastrophe.
Yep.
But in a ZVZ, to get rid of a queen at any stage of the game, this especially this early, is pretty big, and especially if you're trying to get into a fast Spire. You know, you're slowing your opponent's ability to drone up or get units pretty dramatically when you get rid of one of only 2 queens on the map at any given time. And with that Spire just about finished, and with your opponent more or less committed to roaches to this point, especially without scouting, Elfreak could be doing a little bit of damage here in the not too distant. despite the fact that we do have a Spire of his own for DeMello and at least 1 or 2 spores.
Yeah, I mean, the spores are going to negate pretty much any Muta attack.
You need like 8,
he needs
7?
quite a bit. Yeah, you're going to need at least 7 to 8 Mutas, and that might not even fly because you've got your queen there, and transfuses can happen on those spores. So it'll be very, very difficult. I think maybe he was getting the Spire in anticipation that his opponent was going to counter, basically, like getting those fast roach and then going right up to L-Freak's side of the map. Didn't do that, just started macroing in behind there. And now Mello has got a Spire of his own. And the thing is Mello is, well, Mello has got about the same amount of gas. So in theory, they both could, this could just be like a Muta war. Who can get more Mutas? We don't have any spores on this side of the map, but we do have them on this side. So if L-Freak attacks into Mello's side, he's going to be at a disadvantage because of the spores and the home court advantage to reinforce with Mutas quicker. But if Mello goes up there and these Mutas aren't out yet, a lot of drone damage couldn't be done, and it could really tip the scale here. And speaking of the scale, L-Freak is still slightly ahead, but Mello is macroing quite well off the backs of what just happened not too long ago.
Yeah, and which is surprising because again, in a ZVZ, you lose a queen. It should generally allow your opponent to get out ahead a bit, but it's also, I guess, to some degree the fact that L-Freak took the time to kind of tech up faster that allowed Darmello to kind of even out a bit. We do have, can we just see the unit tab there, Mr. Black, real quick there? We've got 8 Muta on one side of the field, 6 on the other. And so it is not an even fight here. It is in the favor of L-Freak, but we'll have to see if there's any micro battles here. It looks like L-Freak is immediately going to go over there and start chasing after. And there's nothing really coming up behind these right now, and so Darmello's going to have to just go and get out and hope that they go the old straight line strategy gets him there in time, and I think it will. And L-Freak's going to have to be careful because once he's down here and there's queens and spores, not somewhere where he wants to be.
No, it definitely isn't, and very well played there. Now he's going to go in on them. That's a beautiful engage there from Freak, picking off one of those Mutas, and just like in a Phoenix versus Phoenix battle, every single Muta that you can kill is huge, and it requires you to focus fire and micro one Muta back at a time, and the numbers are relatively even here, but because of the focus firing, it is really oh no, that one spore is putting in work. That queen manages to stay alive. He'll flirt
get the queen
and picks it off. That's a big pick off there. Another queen goes down. Might be able to pick off this queen, not going towards the spore at all. Loses yet another queen. 3 more Mutas pop off, and L-Freak is putting in some work, and now going to focus down on the spawning pool, and is saying, hey, why don't you come out? I got more Mutas than you. You've got 3. I've got 4. You're going to lose this spawning pool, and there ain't nothing you can do about it.
Oh, now he's got the Zerglings. L-Freak looks like he wants to try to close this out. If you told me that L-Freak going down with basically, by the time Darmello got back to base, an equal number of Muta over top of queens and spores to dance around, that he was going to come out not just on top, but only lose 4 out of like 8 Muta?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yep.
And then do all that damage to kill all of the Muta from Darmello, 2 queens, almost took, did he get the spawning pool? I don't think so. Maybe like real close.
No, he didn't.
I mean, that's crazy. Now he's going to turn around on Darmello. This is just funny. This is like some yakety sax fucking like every time somebody chases to one side of the map, some more show up and push them back. But damn, if L-Freak did all that with what he had before, who knows what he can do with this one? We're going to find out.
That is not an engage that you want, and just like that, the Muta count tips in Mello's favor, and another Muta does go down. Needs to continue to focus fire. He does exactly that. Tries to micro a little bit, but it ain't working out. Manages to micro there. Good micro from Mello and L-Freak there, and forced to back off. But look on the other side of the map. The 3rd is already out. The 4th and 5th is down. Still only 2 base from Mello here. And this is where things go from bad to worse for Mello. If Mello cannot bring any aggression on the other side of the map and slow down this macro, in about 3 minutes, things are going to go terribly for Mello, and I actually don't know exactly how he can pull this off. He can't necessarily go up there with Mutas. He almost just has to expand himself, get some static defense ready, and hope that Elfreak gets overconfident and takes a bad engagement for him to get back into this. I know that the supply count is basically even at this point, but look at the drones. It tells a different story. 44 to 26. Another Overlord goes down, and, you know, we already got an upgrade here. We do have one going for Mello, but I think that was the beginning of the end after those last couple of engagements.
Yeah, well, interestingly, I think it's going to be, the ball is in Elfreak's court right now, because he did keep his opponent down pretty dramatically there. He did get, once again, up on queen count and everything else after that attack. Yeah, he lost a lot of his mutas there, but like to a degree in which Darmello did not go and actually counterattack. He's just stayed home. And not only that, but he's also expanding. Now, those expansions are behind those of Elfreak's. But if Elfreak doesn't capitalize on the opportunities that he's given himself here, then this game basically stays even if the drone count currently is a bit in favor of Elfreak. And now Darmello is feeling a little spicy. You're going to go out here, and if he gets a good couple pickups here, then all the better.
For sure.
And once again, Darmello gets to get himself back into a game that he was way behind.
Yeah, and I think what it was too is Elfreak may have macroed a little too hard. Because when you get so many expansions and your opponent isn't,
turn on those.
Then you're just gonna have more units, and you're just not gonna be ready. And look, this Zerglings here and Roaches are doing a fair amount of work on the ground, lowering down that drone count. He was up by almost 20. Now he's only up by 11, and lost quite a few mutas in the process. I don't know why he's fixated on getting Corruptors. That, my friends, is a bad life choice. Why not just keep getting more mutas? You already had the muta count on your opponent. You stopped, you put down 3 hatcheries, you then went the Corruptor route, and Corruptors are just not that great against large numbers of mutas because their attack speed is really slow, and when you've got a whole bunch of mutas, you can just right-click on each Corruptor, and of course, you've got that little bit of splash damage as well, and that was a really good attack. And look, still a shit ton of mutas left out on the field. 18, although Elfreak got 14 with 7 Corruptors. This has allowed him to now get his 2 expansions up, and we'll see if Elfreak wants to come on the other side of the map and do a little counterattack.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much a dead heat right now, given anyone attacking into anyone could go either way based on micro, and Darmello getting real friggin' fancy with it is going to immediately go in here, and with no micro whatsoever. I'm not seeing any focus. I'm seeing them basically attack all willy-fucking-nilly, which means I think the Corruptors, with the support of the Muta, are going to allow Elfreak to come on top this time, when he might have actually, Darmello, been able to possibly win that with some what my brain wants to say, nothing but nonsense, with some focus fire. And again, that's going to do him dirty. Another little run by of Lings here is nice. They don't even have speed, but they will get the job done. That Queen's going to go down, and a lot of drones as well are going to be taken out, and forcing Elfreak to come back with the army that he had remaining after that engagement at the mid-map to try to clean this up, but not before pretty much every single one of those drones is down. And once again, Darmello doing everything he can to stay in the game, but the army count is really starting to drop in favor of Elfreak. The snowball is real, and here comes some speedlings to try to make his life even more miserable, as some have already taken out this base in the east. Yeah,
it's pretty much, I was going to say, it's pretty much over after he lost all those mutas. It was a valiant effort going back up there. Yeah, he was killing off a lot of drones, but again, like 3 minutes ago, I said, in about 3 minutes, it ain't going to be good once that macro hits, and the macro was hitting. And unfortunately, Mello, I think he did the right thing by trying to go up there and doing something, because if he just played the macro game against somebody that was clearly way ahead already in macro, it's a for sure way to lose. And I thought his best chance was to go up there and attack and hopefully catch Elfreak macroing too hard, because there was such a huge supply difference, but it was mainly because of the drones and not necessarily because of the units. And, he did all he could, but too much damage was done a little bit earlier on. Hey, solid game. solid little ZVZ. I wouldn't necessarily call it a will cheese fail. This was like just, you know, it's a little bit of an aggressive, you know, fast pool, but I definitely wouldn't call it a cheese by any means. But, you know, solid game. Pretty good. One of the better ones this week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you guys haven't already checked out Incogni, we need you guys to come out in waves and go and pick up that subscription. Get your personal information off the internet. When you sign up, all you have to do is put in your information, and then they go out to all the different data brokers and make sure that your information is off the internet. People don't need to know where you live. They don't need to know your name, your political affiliation. They don't need to know anything about you unless you want them to, but most people don't. You know, you're tired of this spam calls on your phones, these scammers trying to get you. Go and check out Incogni, 60% off. Plus, we're going to be casting a game of your choice when you send us the screenshot of the receipt to lifesaglitchtv@gmail.com. Or if you don't want one of those, do a Nova War Says. Let us know what you want Adam to tell me to do, and we will do it the following week. And with a 30-day money-back guarantee, you can try it out. If you don't like it within 30 days, get you money back. It's the same people from NordVPN, so they're trusted. They're great. I use it. Adam's been using it. I just started there a week ago, and they've already had dozens of things removed on the internet. And, of course, you can also do custom removal as well. So if you see something out there, you can send them the link on the dashboard, and they will go out there and do the groundwork for you. And, of course, they got 24-hour live support as well. So go check them out. Big thanks to everybody that already has. And, well, that's my shameless plug for those that actually stuck around to listen to it. I love you. Just understand I do. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out.